Listen, kin. Gather close by the fire's glow, where the smoke curls like whispers from the old ones. What if a wanderer in the clan claimed the spirits twisted their steps, not the idleness of their own feet? In the days of our ancestors, when the hunt fed the young and the fields bound the generations, every soul's path was weighed not by words alone, but by the hearth it warmed, the hands it steadied, the line it carried forward. Here, in the shadow of that ancient truth, we turn to a shadow now creeping through our midst, the restless chase for fleeting glances and hollow bonds, dressed in excuses that name the heart's unrest as some unchangeable mark. Not spirits or fates, but choices that scatter the seeds of survival. Does this mending of masks and sudden severings serve the household, or does it chill the very blood that flows through our veins?
Picture the young woman in the tale, her days a whirlwind of seeking eyes from afar, strangers' nods like sparks in the night, pulling her from the steady rhythm of kin. In the clan's old ways, a woman's labor wove the family's strength, tending the fire for elders who taught the songs of endurance, guiding little ones through the season's demands. But here's what followed when she chased those distant lights, mirroring another's face to win a fleeting hold. Her energy poured into illusions, not the daily toil that roots a child in trust. Parents, meant to model the quiet duty of paired hands building a home, instead mirrored chaos. Forgetting friends, elders left unanswered, the young adrift without the firm hand that says, "This is our way, endure it together." What guidance rises from a hearth where the flame dances wild, never settling? The elders' wisdom fades unheard, their stories of hardship turn to dust, while children learn not resilience, but the thrill of the chase that leaves bellies empty and lessons lost.
Meanwhile, the household itself frays like untended rope. In ancestral times, bonds formed slow as the river carves stone. Two souls yoked by shared sweat, birthing young to carry the clan's fire onward. Yet in this cycle, the spark ignites too fierce. Infatuation floods like a sudden storm. Masks drop to reveal tempests of rage and tears, and the union snaps on impulse, hearts broken by the very hand that sought them. No steady roof over the vulnerable, no shared labor to till the soil or mend the thatch. The woman speaks of love bombing, of hyperfixation that devours all else, then boredom that drives her back to the hunt. But the cost ran deeper. Households unborn, or half-formed, where children witness not the quiet reciprocity of give and take, but the sabotage that orphans the next generation from roots. Could the clan thrive if every pairing crumbled like dry earth underfoot, leaving the line thinned and the vulnerable exposed to the winds?
But the fracture spreads beyond the door, eroding the trust that binds neighbors in the circle of the village. Around the communal fire, our forebears shared the hunt's yield, repaying debt with honest word and watchful eye. No room for claims that twist one's failings into unbreakable chains, stealing the aid meant for the truly burdened. Here, voices rise to label the restless soul as marked by some inner storm, demanding the clan's resources, time from healers, shelter from the collective, not for mending true wounds of the body or spirit, but to excuse the endless seeking that hoards validation like a miser hides grain. Neighbors, once quick to lend a hand in reciprocity, now pull back, their trust poisoned by the unfalsifiable tale. "I masked my truth," they say, dodging the elder's call to face the self and grow through labor. What reciprocity endures when excuses cloak the self-centered pull, drawing from the shared well while giving nothing back? The village weakens, alliances fray, and the vulnerable, true souls bent by life's unyielding load find the circle closed against them.
Deeper still, the land itself cries out under this neglect. Stewardship was the clan's sacred charge, hands in the soil, eyes on the herd, preserving the bounty for seasons yet unborn. Yet when pursuits turn inward, chasing shadows of control, the volume of a song, the nod of a stranger, the earth's quiet demands go unanswered. Fields lie fallow as energy scatters to absent impulses, resources siphoned to distant healers who peddle new names for old restlessness, leaving the real work untended. Children learn not the rhythm of planting and harvest, but the exhaustion of contradictions, craving the clean hearth yet shirking the broom. Elders whose feet once trod the paths of careful yield watch barren plots multiply. What would your ancestors have done, facing such diversion from the land's unyielding call?
Hear this, kin, as the fire dies low, If these chases and excuses take deeper hold, households shatter like frost, crack stone, children go hungry amid the whirlwind, elders fade unnamed in the cold, fields turn to dust under idle feet, and the clan's memory scatters like ash on the wind, survival demands no more and no less. The labor of steady hands, the trust forged in honest trial, the protection of blood and soil that alone carries us through the generations. Turn back to the hearth, enforce the duty within your walls, for in the end, the line endures only by what we build, not what we chase.
If the words of our forebears stirred recognition in your heart, carry that feeling outward. Speak it, pass it along, and honor it with your presence. Each act of sharing strengthens the line of inquiry, feeding the labor of understanding that threads through generations. Your voice, added to the circle, keeps the search for truth alive, examining not only the self, but the patterns of the world we inherit. Leave your marks where they may guide others, in comments or reflections, and follow the paths we have traced to the sources of knowledge. Know that by standing with this work, you sustain the effort, and the lessons of the ancestors continue their passage through time.